everything is fighting for your attention. And that's why you need to turn notifications off on your phone and your computer, if at all possible. Think about it this way. You live your life on your phone and your computer, one's in your pocket, one's on your desk, however it works for you. And every moment of everyday applications that you've downloaded, whether that's email or social media or otherwise, will say, we want your attention. And it will use a pop-up, a notification bell, a number that'll pop up on the screen that makes you want to click to see what that mysterious number is. And it does a couple of things to you. One, it reduces your ability to focus on whatever you're focusing on, therefore dividing your efforts. And if you're honest, no one can do more than one thing at once, at least effectively. Sometimes you'll make the thing, this stereotype where men can do one thing and women can multitask. From what I've seen, it's probably not true. It's just a difference between how you can sequentially do one thing or the other and transition back and forth. So the stereotype seems to have maybe some truth to it, but it's not a true multitasking. Really, everybody can focus ultimately on one thing at a time, even if they can swing back and forth between one object or another. You need to make food, there's a kid asking you a question, you need to answer a work thing, okay. But when your attention is split like this, you can't do what Cal Newport calls deep work. Deep work means undistracted, concentrated work that you're undistracted from doing so that you can have success. Now for me, I'm kind of an ideas person, a writer, I do public speaking, all this kind of stuff, and I found that to get into any sort of flow state for thinking, writing, speaking, whatever it is, I cannot have notifications, I cannot have all these numbers popping up on my screen. If I do, I can't do the sort of intellectual work that is necessary. Now, by intellectual, I don't mean hoity-toity work, I just mean the thinking work. Intellectual could be anyone's focus or concentration, just what is internal to you, the ability to focus on something and come up with something else. So that's the first thing. You need to turn off your notifications because, first of all, you can't focus. But there's a second reason why. I watched a video recently. I wish I could remember the title. I'll maybe put it in the description if I can find it. And the speaker in it made a really persuasive point to me, one that is, I think, kind of obvious, but one of those things that you need to say out loud sometimes to be reminded of, and that's, there's a sense in which notifications create anxiety. So if you have someone who you don't want to talk to, or you're hearing, you have maybe an email that could have good or bad news, the moment that a notification comes up, you have this, even if it's a split moment of worry or curiosity that might, I don't know, raise your cortisol levels, raise your anxiety levels. It's this fear of the unknown. And no matter what you're doing, even if you're enjoying your time with your family or friends, you are drawn into whatever that experience is. You're reminded of some sort of negative feeling, negative experience, and therefore what happens is you can't be in the moment anymore. So you're with some friends at nighttime with your family, enjoying yourself, your phone's in your pocket and it vibrates or rings because there's some notification or a call or whatever happening, and then you remember that really, really stressful work thing that it could be. Well, simply because you have those notifications on or that technology nearby, the effect is you are unable to truly be in the moment with someone because you're worried about the sort of what-ifs that come from your phone. So for these two reasons, one, because you can't focus, and two, because of the anxiety that comes from having notifications, my recommendation to you is to do everything within your power to turn off notifications. Now, there's an obvious caveat. You need technology for almost all work today. Digital communications in particularly hugely important. So the question is, what do you do in such a scenario? And my answer would be, well, there's some things you can do to help. You can make notifications quiet so they don't ring. You don't need that. You can have a schedule where, depending on your job, every 30 minutes you check your email or check your messaging app, and the 30-minute block between that you just don't. You have no notifications on, but every 30 minutes you can check up, and therefore your boss, employer, co-workers don't feel like they're being ignored when they have important things. Now, some of them may still be like, why did it take 27 minutes to get back to me? And you'll have to kind of mediate how that works in your particular setting. I can't actually give you the prudential reasoning to make you successful in your particular workplace. But I can tell you something. When I used to work in the tech world, I used to be able to do the kind of deep work that I'm talking about. And I did have success. And granted, there might be times where I perhaps was slow. I can't remember offhand. But realistically, in an office environment, someone can just walk down the hallway and ask you if they need to. And if you work from home, the equivalent of walking down the hallway and asking you is a phone call. So it's not impossible for this to work. You just have to figure out and feel it out what is best in your particular work situation. And once you begin to do excellent work, it won't really matter. Your boss will be so happy with you if you're able to produce great results and to have deep success because you've learned how to do what Cal Newport calls deep work. And one way to get to that deep work is by turning off your notifications, except for my notifications. So like, subscribe, and hit that bell because you need everything that I give you. I'm the one exception to this rule, and watch the video on my shoulder right now.